Okay, yeah, no worries.
I just bought
No,
over 50 vitamins, so
Right. Like I'm living out of a
It's
cardboard
on my
box right
vitamins.
now.
I know that life too, Coach K, living out of a cardboard box. And by the way, to mix the two of you, I have a cardboard box just for all my vitamins. So that I never unpacked. I moved here and I was like, well, these keep them all together. So let me just keep all the vitamins together in this one space so I know where to find everything. Okay, all right. So well, at least you guys understand now. So now you know, and if you guys are watching the replay, now you know. If I'm mother henning you, you guys can tell me I don't need your reminders. You can skip me, but I'm just letting you know if I'm sending you reminders, it's not because I'm trying to force you to come to the thing or force you to buy another thing. It's because maybe you showed some sort of interest that you were going to be there, or I just didn't want you to miss out in case you did want it. And so there we go. That's what that is. And then if I forget,
I'm like the obsessive follower and I want to be at them all.
Also,
so if I'm not there,
huh?
I said, I'm like the obsessive follower and I want to be at them all. So if I'm not there, be like, where the hell are you?
I'll be like,
no, I want to be there.
Like, are you okay? You said you were going to be at every. I'm just gonna.
And I take it as a form of support too, because I really like to support all y'all stuff, and so as much of it as I can
me too. I like to support
same
too.
I
like to support you guys too. I'm super duper duper busy right now, and I can feel the difference. I can feel that you guys feel the difference. Like I can tell that my presence isn't super duper like there on Facebook and on everybody's stuff, and then I can feel that you guys feel that. Like some other people that I'm not like as present lately, and I'm like, oh, I hate that feeling, but I just got to get these classes pumped out. And once I get them up and they're up there on the mystery school, then that's done. And then I can get back to, and then but also I'm like, but I'll see most of you guys on the 22nd for level 2, right? That's going to be good. So just bear with me. Just have a little patience. Just wait for me. I promise I'm coming back. I just got to get all this done. And so that's where we are with all of that.
We're going to have birthday cake that day.
We are. Okay. I'm on day 3 of my cleanse, so I will figure out a birthday cake that I'm allowed to eat around that time. But
we'll do a cupcake.
There you go. We'll do some. Everybody bring something for Coach K's birthday on the first day of level 2. Happy birthday! You're in class again. So we did the same thing for the Moonlight Key for Gwen. So I feel like now I just need to know everybody's birthday so I can just plan really big events on your birthday.
So like you're sharing. At the top of the hill now, and it's like,
not only are you sharing all these other moments with me, but now you have to share your birthday with me too. So how's that for dominating your resources and your time? Tell your family, end dinner early, you're coming to class. All right. I've already stole Gwen's date night too, so I feel so bad. Okay, guys. All right. So we're in circle. This is our circle for March. And I wanted it to be something correlating with the spring equinox. And so I took my journey and I was asking the guides, and they were showing me, the egg. They were showing me how like the egg is a really good symbol of rebirth, of bringing back the spring. We usually, Easter time, we go do our egg hunts and we fill the eggs with all kinds of goodies and stuff like that. Well, where does that come from, right? Because rabbits don't actually lay eggs, no matter what the Cadbury commercials try to tell you, right? So where does the egg actually come from? Well, a long time ago, there were different stories about creation, about rebirth. A few goddesses, their birth story is that they broke out from the egg, right? Ishtar, I think, is one of those, that they were born from an egg. So one of the things that I shared with you guys in group just before we started, so you probably didn't get a chance to look at it yet, but you can go back and look at it when we're done, is an image that showed a bunch of different types of the universal egg, the cosmic egg in world mythology. And I don't know if you guys can't really see that, but you can see what it will look like when you go look at it. It's going to be this poster with all these little squares. And so it's showing you from different myths, Finnish myth, Persian myth, Slavic myth, Chinese myth, all of these different cosmic eggs. And you can see how there's been over time, again and again, different cultures have told this story of like this creation or a recreation. A lot of times their story has to do with like the beginning of the world or the beginning of the universe. And so all of this potential was inside of this egg that broke open, and usually the universe was born out of it, or a lot of times a deity, so a god or goddess was being born in this egg. And the egg represents the pressure and the chaos and all of the limitations that were put, like when you would squeeze coal, right, to be like a diamond, they say, right? So all of that pressure was put on this god or goddess in order for that to finally break open, and then the goddess would emerge and have all of the power, or the universe would be born and all the cosmic power would come forth from this egg. So that was the picture that they were giving me, and that was the what I wanted to come into this journey, into this circle, to journey on, because in different ways all of us are breaking free from our shells. We've been talking about that a lot in the Moon Nike group in particular, but other than that, I also see lots of other people stepping up to the plate, to areas that they've never been yet, finally stepping into shoes that maybe they always felt like those were their shoes, but they felt like they were too big for them, being called to do things that they make them feel nervous or afraid, being called to leave behind security blankets, defense mechanisms and stuff like that, survival techniques that have worked for you up until this point. But as of right now, they're no longer serving you. It's time for you to emerge to your next level. It's time for you to break free from that egg. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a journey to find out from our guides what shell they want to break free from you. And you might get an actual answer to that when you take the journey. They might tell you this particular shell that we're breaking from you is your shyness, or your a dislike for being in front of a camera, or different things that they want you to like step up to and break free from. Or they'll just take you on a journey and they'll just strip a layer from you. It'll feel like maybe taking another layer of skin off, or they'll do some sort of healing on the area that is no longer serving you. But basically, metaphorically or literally, you're going to break out of some sort of shell in tonight's journey for Circle. So do you have any questions or anything on that before we get into journey? I'm going to, we're going to do a little fire ceremony, and then card pulling for VIP, which I only have one of today. So card pulling for Gwen. You guys are all just gonna sit here and watch me pull card for Gwen today, and then we'll go into journey after that. So but any questions, or anybody want to share what your thoughts are when you think of breaking out of the egg, or even stories that you've heard about the cosmic egg? Have any of you guys ever heard about like any of the goddesses that ever were born from an egg? No? Anyone else? Yeah, you kind of heard about that, or the universe breaking from the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's the story about, like, you usually see the picture of like there's an egg and then there's a snake going around it. That is another story.
I recognize that image. I'm not sure what from, but I recognize it.
Yeah. I the name begins with an O, and the name is like escaping me right now. Let me see if it's on the image that I shared with you. Yeah, you guys
with Freya
or something like that.
Say it.
Oh, I was going to say I relate it to Freya.
Oh, to Freya, yes. I think she's one of the goddesses that are
Ishtar or something like that.
Oh, Ostara. Ostara was another goddess that was born from an egg. Freya is connected to the egg. Here it is, the Orphic egg. So I try to like zero in on it. Can you see? It's like so fuzzy, but it's this image right here, and it's a snake wrapping around the egg right there, and it's called the Orphic egg, and that is the Greek Orphism, and that's the Greek mythology belief that the universe was born from this egg, and that the snake wrapped around it and gave birth to it, basically to help it to bring forth its potential. So when you guys go and look at these images, if you're interested in any of the ones you can see, you can look up the stories and you can find out more about each one of those. So that's why I just wanted to share that with you, so that way you would have a little bit more knowledge and background to the different cosmic eggs.
I like that. That's the Egyptian belief, right?
The Orphic egg is the Greek belief.
No, I mean the cosmic.
Oh, the cosmic egg is actually all of these. All of these have some type of cosmic egg story. There's an Egyptian one, a Chinese one, all of these, the Greek one, they're all, and then the name of the story is on there. So you can actually look it up yourself to see which one, you know, just in case you want to read into them. So like, let's say if you wanted to read into the Polynesian myth, it would be called the Pa'a of Ta'aoria.
Okay.
So there, all the names are there, and then that way you can kind of just get a little bit more background on that, you know, just to kind of expand your shamanic knowledge. It helps me when I learn stuff like this, because you never know, you get symbols in your journey, and sometimes we don't know what those symbols are, and then we got to go look them up later. It happens all the time, right? And you're just like, what the heck is that? And then you find out that it had some like actual confirmed meaning that existed before you ever saw it in your journey, which I love, because we're all connected. Akashic records and things like that helps us to access all of this information that existed from, you know, the beginning of time when we go into shamanic journey. But I also like to learn about it a little bit and do some studying about it, so that when it does pop up in my journeys or my journeys for my clients, I have a little bit more background knowledge. Like, oh, I know exactly what this is. And then I can tell my client a little bit more about the journey as well. So those are the kind of things that I like to have us do in Circle, because then it's like expanding, you know, on our shamanic vocabulary, so that we're able to better serve our communities, our groups, and our clients and things like that. So, all right, let's go ahead and open up our sacred medicine space. So smudge first. And I don't know if anybody's noticed that there's a theme of dragons going on. I mean, we talked about it in our new moon that we did for Moon Nike. A couple people mentioned dragons that night and kind of talked about it. But then I keep seeing, I shared an image on my Facebook page just now, like right before this, that I came up. It was a dragon and it had a message on it. It was gorgeous, very, very gorgeous, like hummingbird colored scales, you know, like those different rainbow, kind of just like the bismuth, but the scales were that color. And then I just got from Brandy, who's not here, I got her dragon's blood dipped sage, which I always love. But I don't have one right now because I did a limpia egg cleanse on a client, and I had about like this much left, and the whole thing burned while I did her limpia, and I was like, she must have needed it. But that these usually last forever. It's one of the reasons, that's one of the things I like about them. But I like to work with dragon's blood. So yeah, the guides told me to bring dragon's blood. Stains your fingers red, so that's why I keep it in the plastic. The dragon's blood dipped sage today for our smudging, and I was like, all right, more dragons. So it just seems like dragons are a theme right now. So not exactly sure why, but I'm sure eventually it'll be made known to me why.
Ta-da.
Oh, is that your dragon's blood? You got the resin? You got just the powder, the resin? Nice. Yeah, I've never put the powder. I'm sure Gwen could tell us some ways to use the powder. I always usually get the oil, or I get the, you know, this of the already dipped item, whatever I'm working with.
So
what can you use the powder for just directly, Gwen? What do you use that for? Can you put in salts or something maybe?
I know it's very protective. I actually don't use dragon's blood.
No, the dragon lady doesn't.
Yeah, no. I don't.
Yeah. So I was taught it was yes, it is protective, but I was taught that it's an amplifier. And so that's how I use it. I use the oil, and I use that because I was taught that whenever you add dragon's blood to anything, so the Botanica that I go to, I have several that I go to, but one of the ones I go to that I get my oils and my cards and my candles and stuff from, they will make you oil right then and there. And so they have all these big bottles, and then they'll make you a little bottle, a little roll-on or a dropper, whatever you want to buy, that cost different prices. But one time I was trying to decide between dragon's oil and road opener, and then he told me the price for both of them, and I was like, oh, that's a little more than I wanted to spend. And my husband wanted the dragon's blood, so I said, I'll just do dragon's blood. And he's like, do you want a dragon's blood road opener? And I was like, that can happen. Yes, we will take that. And so, you know, again, so now we just use that to amplify the road opening when we're using that oil for like money spells and stuff. So not only is the dragon's blood amplifying the money spell, but it's also opening the road, like really, really getting all those roads open to make the money or the different financial opportunities, make sure that all the roads are open for them. So I know that whatever you use it for, the oil at least, I use that for opening. I just don't know. I don't make like things with powders. I don't make a lot of like salts or jars or anything like that. So that's the reason why I don't work with the powder. Yes, ma'am.
So what I use it for, and this is what I found to use it for, it says it helps protect and strengthen your aura from external negativity and psychic attacks. And then also you can use it for protection, love, banishing, and potency for spells.
Nice. Nice. All right. See, I like that. Now you can mix it with your salt and do your salt scrubs in the shower with that. That's really cool. But it says it cleanses your aura. I mean, you know, be careful. Don't make yourself all red, but but
Well, I put it
maybe
in a
just a
little
little,
bowl,
just a little
you know,
bit, just a little sprinkle, just a little
with
sprinkle in
charcoal.
your, yeah, yeah. I like it. All right, guys. Let's get centered, sync our roots, open up crown chakra. I got a new toy. I'm super excited. Brand new torch.
I need a torch
I need-
so bad. Stupid like
Oh,
lighter.
you're gonna be addicted once you start.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, the one thing that I have in common with potheads is that I have all my favorite lighters and I don't share
I
them.
have like this one.
Oh,
Look at
nice.
that.
Yeah.
That's a torch? That's a lighter? Oh, I love it.
Wow.
That one looks like a culinary one, maybe, that you would use in the kitchen, maybe. That's
Yeah,
really
probably.
cool.
I
Huh?
don't have like even like the longer lighters. I have like the short ones. So I'm like,
Yeah,
they're
no,
awful.
that's not gonna work for you, girl. It's not
No.
gonna work for you.
That
It's a
one works
pain
good for
in
the
the butt.
candles. Get down in there.
Yeah, yours,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I like yours. I like that a lot. Sometimes what I'll have to do is I'll have to light an incense, you know, because it's on a stick, and then I'll use the incense stick to light my to light my candles. Like these ones.
I
again,
literally
they're
right
cheap.
before this call was like cutting down my candle because my lighter wouldn't go far enough.
See? Yeah. Like these ones when they go in, I don't have, I usually will have the long sticks that you use for like bonfires, you know, that you use to like strike your log. I'll use that for these, but then I run out of those because they're, you know, one-time use. So a lot of times I'll just use my incense and then I'll blow my incense out when I'm done, but I'll just light the incense and stick that stick down in there so I can light it.
You
But
can use like a shish kebab stick too.
oh yeah. So yeah, you could. I just, you know, I guess I just don't like to light
They're
things
like
on fire.
99 cents for like 100 of them.
That's true. That's true. And I have, so I'm the plant lady. So I have a bunch of those usually because I usually use them because I have a bunch of different weird plants that I'm growing in my kitchen. And I got sticks going through avocado seeds and I got sticks holding little tiny twigs up so they'll grow upright. And I always have, so that's not for shish kebabs though. Won't find any shish kebabs in my kitchen, but you'll find lots of shish kebab sticks for plants because I'm a crazy plant lady. All right, relighting. Okay, center ourselves, guys. We're sinking, sinking roots down into the ground, opening up our crown chakra, inviting divine white light to just wash over everything that we're releasing, sending it down into the ground through our roots. As I start at your crown chakra now. Nice. Ooh. Just dissipating into the weekend. Let Monday through Friday go. Just let it go. There we go. Nice. Okay, third eye. And throat. Heart. solar plexus, sacral, and your roots. Going down, down, down into the Mother Earth, just asking her to carry away everything that we are ready to release at this time, all that is no longer beneficial to us, and all that was never ours to carry to begin with. I ask that you carry them down through these roots to your center core, where they can be burned up in your magma and do harm to no one else, or as you see fit, to use as fertilizer to grow beautiful things for our future. Amen. I say, aho. Okay, so, yeah, so crown chakra just showed that like we had, you know, just we're holding on to a couple of things or whatever, maybe from the earlier in the week, maybe from our 9 to 5s, whatever, just holding on to like thoughts, just, you know, ruminating thoughts. So guides were like, nope, we're going to let those go. They don't belong here, at least for right now. You can pick them back up later. And so I just had to put those down. Third eye. I don't know, Coach Brianna, have you been able to get a chance to get journeys in recently? All right. So your third eye told on you a little bit, because I know these two have, because they're in Munaiki. So so just so you know, third eye was saying that, you know, you haven't had a chance to journey recently, and that's okay. That's okay. But it was just kind of letting me know that there's been a little bit of a break recently.
Been feeling very disconnected from my third eye, for sure.
Okay.
I knew
Okay.
that one.
All right. So
yeah.
So we just kind of just like did a little bit of a wake up there. It's kind of like, woohoo, wake you up, wakey, and just kind of try to bring a connection back in, because we're going to do a journey now. So it felt like that. It felt like there was a distance. So we just did that. Okay. And then throat chakra, Gwen, you feel okay with me telling you a little quick message about your throat chakra? I'm assuming that this came, the only reason why I knew that the third eye was Coach Brianna was because, like I said, I know you two have done a journey recently, but they specifically gave me one that said, this is for Gwen. And I'm like, well, maybe because she's my VIP for the night. But things are going better in throat chakra as far as things that you're not able to always say. This feels like it's about work, especially. It feels like it's not necessarily that you're speaking more out. It's that you're processing more in, so that you are maybe like letting things go, that it's like, you know what, it wouldn't do any good anyways. Or, you know what, I'm over that. I cut the cords with that. I'm just going to let it go, like that kind of thing. So it's creating a relief in your throat chakra, because even though you're not getting the words out, it's like it's not, they're not needed anymore. And then that like kind of soothes it and like makes that lava that wanted to explode like start to retreat and go back down. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay. Oh, awesome. So that's good. So I just say confirmation, keep doing more of that. It's going great. All right. And then, so heart chakra, we just cut out some heart chakra stuff. Like I said, it's like almost always, I always see like stuff in heart chakra. So just front and back clearing of the heart chakra heaviness, a little bit of disappointment. It felt like this time, not necessarily grief this time. This time it felt a little bit more like disappointment. And so we just kind of cleared that out. Solar plexus was nice and open and cleared. And so we cleansed in there. Sacral chakra didn't show me anything of note. We just cleared in there. And then root. So root, I was able to see a couple of y'all's, like snake going down into the ground around your roots. So it's like I saw roots and vines going in the ground, and then I saw serpent. She was kind of like slithering from root going down into the Mother Earth as well. So that is the update of the chakras. Aho. All right. Any questions or anything before we move on, guys? Nope.
Actually, yes. Jaw is throat, right? If you're having like tension in your jaw and stuff like that, that's related to throat chakra usually.
Usually, yeah. So it feels like it's just what am I trying to say? What's the word, guys? Isolated. If it feels like it's just isolated there in your jaw, then that would be throat. Ear, nose, and throat would all be throat chakra. So like, say like the ear, nose, and throat doctor. So all of those areas, it's giving you like a headache, or it's giving you sinus pain like behind your eyes, that could be third eye. But if it just feels like it's really isolated in jaw,
just
Good.
here. And it's like anytime I do a meditation, anytime there's like some sort of, like I was in my thing that I'm running, I had a guest expert come in, did like a distance Reiki hypnotherapy thing, and
Mhm.
my jaw tensed up so much, and it's been doing that for like anything energetic like that. It's just been like it's locking, like I'm clamping my teeth together
Yeah.
almost.
So
So I don't know
the
what's up.
best, yeah, the best answer I'm gonna give you, you already know what I'm gonna say.
Take a
What am I gonna
journey.
say? What am I gonna say, guys? Take a journey on it. Right. That's the best answer I can give you without you coming into session, is for you to take your own journey, because what I'm feeling energetically, what I'm hearing, the questions are, what are you resisting? What are you biting down on? You're not letting your it's like a grinding teeth kind of feeling, that I'm like a gritting, like a gritting feeling that it's giving me. And it's giving me a resistance to something. It's giving me an unwillingness, a holding on tightly to something. So it's like almost like somebody wants to reach in there and yank something out, like right out of your mouth. They want to reach down in your soul and yank it through your mouth, and your body is, even though your conscious isn't, but your subconscious body is clamping down and won't let it take it out. It's like, nope, I'm not ready to give that up yet, so I'm not giving it to you. You know what I'm saying?
So
That's
all
the
of the
kind
like,
of feeling.
feelings and stuff, it's resisting those. Yeah, okay. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
thought, but I was like, I just thought it was so weird that it was like my jaw every time. My jaw, because a lot of the time I'll get like in my shoulders, in my back of my neck and stuff, but my jaw.
And thank you
And
for confirming that, because that's what I felt. I was like, I feel like it's like also connected to neck, like it was in neck and then it moved up to jaw. So I'm glad that you told me that, because that's exactly what I felt. So I felt like that like, like when somebody's
yeah,
going to touch you and you pinch yourself up and your shoulders
yeah.
all the way up to your ears, and then it moved from there to your jaw.
That's
But
where
it's
my
like the same,
resistance
like,
usually is.
it's
It's
like
usually that like
it's like here's your medicine, little kid, and you're like,
yeah,
and they're like trying to
yeah.
spoon feed you the medicine, and you're like, your body, not you consciously, but subconsciously, and the body especially, is like, nope, don't want it. And so take a
Mm,
journey to find out why, because it could be a good reason. It could not necessarily be that it's something that you're resisting that you have to have right now. It could be that your body and your subconscious are like, we're not ready for that right now. We're just not there. It's not the right time. We've done enough healing. That's not the right medicine for us right now. Like, it could be many
okay.
different reasons.
Okay.
So yeah, so I would find that out why and ask why. The body's really, really good at giving us little signs that we don't know of. Like if you take a drink or a bite of food and you immediately cough right after, a lot of times that's your body saying it does not need whatever you're giving it. Like it's saying, I've had enough of that. Give me something else. So a lot of
Oh,
times you're choking. That moment where you feel like, why did I just choke
yeah.
on that? A lot of times that's the body saying, that's not the nutrient I need. You're giving me the wrong nutrient. I have enough of that.
Oh,
Go get me this other thing. And so
interesting.
sometimes the body is trying to, talk to us that way, but it doesn't know how to speak English.
That makes me wonder. So and this is genetic. Okay. My mom has this happen. This happens with me. My daughter has this happen. But anytime we eat anything with a starch, whether it's like pasta, bread, potatoes, like anything, we get the hiccups.
Oh, see?
Like a bite, I gotta chug water because I've got the hiccups, and then I'll have another bite and I'll get hiccups again and I'll chug water. Like,
see? And that feels like a good sign to me, that it's saying, I have enough of this. I don't want this. This is not the thing I need. I don't need this thing. Give me a different thing. And so, like I said, I had,
especially because it's genetic like that it's down. That's so fascinating.
yeah. So, and then all of you guys may all have some type of like an intolerance to like white starches that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I've always
We got
wondered
to
about
learn a lot about that when we went to the woman. I told you guys I went to the intuitive nutritionist that healed me out of the wheelchair. She taught me and my mom a lot of things, and it was really cool. She talked to my body and came up with a diet that got me walking again. I was able to walk within a week of starting this diet, but it was because she just simply talked to my body, and the body said, she can't eat this, she needs this, this will help us heal, tell her to stop eating this is junk, you know, just so on and so forth. And it was customized to me. But she showed me, you do every single somebody do this test where they try to pull down on your arm, and it, like, for some reason your body talks for you. And so they'll ask it a question, and if your arm goes down, easy, then the answer would be yes. Like that's no, yeah. So there's no resistance to that. But if it, like, your arm stays, like, no matter how much they're hanging off of your arm, you're just able to hold it like nothing, then that's resistance, right? So she did that with my mom, and she asked my mom, can you process wheat? Can you digest and process wheat? And she went to go pull down on my mom's arm, and my mom's arm would not budge. And then she told my mom, and you get pains in your back right here, like around your kidneys. And that is your body resisting the wheat. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, I do. I get these like lower lumbar pains. And that was her body's way of telling her, I can't process this wheat you keep giving. So yeah, so that was really interesting stuff. That would definitely be a class that I would love to take, like, just learning how to zero more on that. But for now, I just do like journeys. Like, I just recently did a journey. Somebody was telling me they wanted to go to lunch with a friend, but they've been having some stomach issues, and I just tapped right in, and then the guy's kind of telling me, like, she's having this kind of stomach issue, this is why, this is what she needs to do, this is what she can't do any longer. And so so I get to have like a little taste of that when I do like little quick medical type journeys. I mean, we'll talk about that in level 2. That's one of the classes about the body. We're going to talk about, medical type journeys, and, doing journeys when it comes to like having to do with like an ailment or something with the body. Oh, and the other thing I want to tell you guys was, fun fact, you guys are going to get to smudge each other, smudge me, see what happens when you smudge, see if you get any messages when we're practicing in level 2 as well. So I wanted to tell you that they told me that. I was excited to hear about that. So yay, you guys will get a chance to do that and see what happens for you. Okay, so we have smudge. Now we're going to open up our sacred medicine space really quickly, and then we're going to pull some cards and do some fire ceremony. We're waking up our spirit teams here, just bringing them close by. Them in advance for their presence. You guys inviting your divine spirit teams to be here with us as well. And I speak to all of the spirits in the south, including the spirit of Sachamama, Great Serpent Mother. Be here with us now. Wrap us in your coil of light. Help us to shed our past the way that you shed your skins, all in one piece. Help us to remain belly to belly with the earth. Help us to remain in the beauty way. Guide us and protect us. Aho. To all of the spirits in the west, including Otorongo, Mother, Sister, Jaguar. Jaguar, be here with us now. Help us to be okay when it is the time for the void and the darkness, knowing that you have swallowed the sun to give birth to a new date. Guide us and protect us. Aho. And to all of the spirits in the north, including the spirit of the ancient ones, the grandmothers and grandfathers, our ancestors that came before us, the Apud and Curanderas and the snow-capped mountains. Be here with us now. Remove all of our confusion and fear and doubts and replace them with your ancient knowledge. And to see Warkinti, royal hummingbird, be here with us today. Help us to remember to take in the sweet nectar of life so that we can pollinate purpose and beauty everywhere that we go. Guide us and protect us. Aho. And to all of the spirits in the east, to eagle and condor. Condor, help us to remember to fly wing to wing with the great spirit and bring back messages from the creator, just as you do. And eagle, help us to rise above all of the chaos all around us so that we can look upon the details with a bird's eye view and pick out only that information that's meant for us to bring back to our nest for processing. Guide us and protect us. Aho. And beneath us, we're speaking to Pachamama, Great Earth Mother, Gaia. Mother Earth, thank you so much for being such a wonderful mother to us. Thank you for providing all of your nourishment. Thank you for connecting us in our roots with all of your people, the stone people, the finned, the furred, the feathered, to the two-legged, the many-legged, and the four-legged. Thank you so much for reminding us to be all together one tribe in your name. Guide us and protect us. Aho. And to all of the sky spirits, the sun, the moon, and all of our ancestors in the star nation between, ho. To our divine spirit teams, and to the divine creator spirit who is of many names and even names yet unknown. Shine your light down on us today. Help to illuminate our paths and guide our meditations, not only today, but always. Amen. Ashe. Aho. All righty. When I was called to pull from Starseed Oracle for you today. So you're going to get message from a Starseed Oracle and then just a couple of soul journey cards for clarification. So that's this one here. Since you guys are in circle, I just don't put it on the advertisement because it's just easier just to make one advertisement for the public and then answer any questions that you guys might have separate. You guys are always able to come in as a VIP person instead of just getting your free entry into circle. You are able to come for free and that's no problem with that. But if you ever want to upgrade to VIP and have whichever VIP session that I'm having at that time, because they do different things sometimes, you're able to, and then we'll just do that at a discount price, so you wouldn't have to pay the full 33 because part of that would have been free for you anyway. So just reach out to me if that's ever anything that you want to do. All righty. Woohoo. I see you hiding under the shadows. I don't know how you guys pick cards. I have different ways that I pick cards, but one of the ways that I pick cards is like if I'm spreading them out and I'm just looking at them in a fan, there's always one that like hides, it's like trying to hide itself in a shadow, and that's the one. It's like, no, don't see me, haha, I'm playing hide and seek with you. And it's like, oh, you're my guy, I see you. And that's usually how I get that one. Okay, so a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So you can see the pretty card there. And then these cards usually have like a little activation with them. And do we go by N or A? N, new earth. L-M. I can spell today, I promise. Okay, so no, that didn't go with that. So maybe it goes with A. Yep, sure does. Why would they put it with A? Okay, anyway. All right. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and radical vision. This is kind of what we were talking about in the group the other day. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You chose to be here, to be part of this global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. Yeah, right? It's happening. Don't give up. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be sailing. Ushering in a new age in times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working toward for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep. for if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. Look at that. Look at, we're talking about spring equinox here. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. And so for you, your star seed soul inquiry to ask yourself is, how can you keep holding the vision? All right. And then, you know, I hate to do it to you, but you guys know I'm a shadow shaman. So I was like, okay, well, this is a good message. Why am I pulling the clarification cards for her? And they're like, oh, well, you're going to tell her what's blocking that. What would be blocking that? And I'm like, why do I always have to give the bad news?
That's your job.
They're like, yeah, that's what that's what you do. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. That's what they said. So these are basically like, like shadows, but just here's anything that you would need to work on to make sure that you don't block that. So keep these things from getting in your way. All right, trust, which we just talked about,
Yep.
and acceptance. Trust and acceptance, they're basically the same thing here. So acceptance, I am learning to accept things I cannot change. I do believe that recently you threw control in the fire. So I think that that's what that's talking about, right? So I think that it's letting you know that you are right. We're confirming that that was the right thing to like give up for now. We don't want that to get in your way. So we want you to not have to have control over everything. Once you settle into acceptance and realize that there are just some things you just have to accept and go with the flow, and you'll be able to receive this blessing a lot easier, because you won't be hindering the process that the universe is like, get out of the kitchen, we got to do our work. So so that's what they're talking about there. And then trust is basically the same thing, having trust in the universe. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I remember with my trust cards and the trust card that I wrote on my shadow deck, I always make sure to say the same thing. You don't have to trust the people around. You don't have to like be upset that people around you feel untrustworthy. You go to work or you talk to a person on a stranger. I don't know if I can trust this person. I don't know if they're trustworthy, if they're deserving of my trust. Instead of putting it in that way, what you build instead is you build trust in yourself, and you build trust in your spirit team, because they'll let you know if somebody has an agenda against you, if somebody's not right for you, if somebody's lying to you, if somebody is not meant for you to put your trust in them. So it's not about them being trustworthy. It's about you just having faith and trust in the divine, in yourself, and in your spirit team. Don't worry, if they're haters, then they'll be removed from your life. So no need to worry about that. All right. And that is your message from the cards. Aho.
Thank you. Oh.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys, let's do our fire ceremony and then get into our journey. So here's our community fire. Just gonna hold it right here. Okie dokie. I'll just go in order across my screen. Coach K first. What would you like to throw in and leave behind? What would you like to call in to bloom for spring?
Okay, I'm throwing in insecurity and the feeling of walking on eggshells.
That's a good one for eggshell day. I like it. Pun intended. Pun intended. Okay.
And I'm going to call out confidence and the ability to accept change and transition.
Yes. Like that one a lot. Your guides are very, very pleased with that one. All right. Aho. Thank you for sharing. And Coach Brianna.
Releasing I don't know what it is. Just this like fog that I feel like I'm under all the time. And I think calling in patience, because I feel like I should be able to like heal and move past all these things so quickly, and it's taking longer than I want to.
Okay. Yeah. So we feel that. So kind of removing away some of the fog of like, can you at least let me know something of what's going on? Do I have to be in the dark about everything? And then, but also, can you give me patience for the things you're not going to reveal to me yet, and you're not going to put in fast motion? So yeah, got that for sure. I hope. Thank you very much for sharing. And Gwen, doesn't matter where you are on my screen. I keep saying, I found myself every single time saying, and last but not least, here's Gwen. I'm like, wait, you changed directions on me and you still ended up being okay.
I need to release some guilt that I'm feeling for a family member, for a situation that I have no control over, but I'm still feeling guilt. And I'd like to bring in acceptance for myself of who I am.
Yes, absolutely.
So I can, bring in that trust and acceptance of the divine.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Aho. Okay. All righty, guys. So let's go ahead and get ready to take our journeys to find out what shell your guide feels like you're ready to break out of at this time. So gonna switch. I have a drumming queued up from my previous stuff, but Brianna, I know, has a hard time like I do sometimes with the 15-minute one. So I'm gonna switch it. Okay. I guess maybe I need to like save the water one that you guys use sometimes, because I've never heard it. Maybe I need to save that one so that way I can play that sometimes, at least for events. All righty. Well, no, what I said I was going to do was I was going to record my drumming so that I could play that at events, and then it would be me drumming, and then we could listen to that, because that would really be great for events.
Yes.
All right. I'm getting all comfortable. Get ready to take our journeys. And Gwen, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, gonna start the playing now. At least I thought I was. Hold on, where did it go? There we go. All right, good. Coach K, I'm looking at you. Usually you're my thumb. Yes? No? Okay, thank you. away. Come back when you can. Journal about your findings, whatever you saw, whatever you heard, whatever you discovered. Great. Everybody's ready to share. You can start sharing. We'll get or take a couple minutes if we need a couple minutes.
I can start if you'd like.
Yes, please, Gwen. Thank you.
So at first I didn't think I was going to go in. So there's some noise downstairs with my family. But then it was like, bam, I was in. Went into sacred space. I saw my bonfire and I realized there was a girl inside my bonfire. And she was crying. And I thought that she was like burning and in pain, but she wasn't. And then realized it was me inside the fire. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing inside the fire? But it was like another me. And so I pulled her out, and like a layer of skin was off. Could see like the blood and stuff, like the layer had literally burned off. I have somebody new came into my sacred space. Was it today actually? I don't know otherwise what to call him other than a fairy godfather, but he's working with me with hummingbird. And
Okay.
yeah, he was there again. Says that she is a part of my solar plexus. And I am to help heal her. I took her over actually, he helped me take her over to my Reiki table, laid her down, and we actually started healing her together. And I'm going to be working with her. And as I get stronger with her and Hummingbird, she's going to heal and it's going to heal me. It all has to tie in with my strength and my positivity, with my solar plexus and my fire, my courage, and all of that. And so this is going to happen throughout the next 2 weeks, and she's going to get better. But that's part of me shedding and breaking that.
Yeah.
Is
So
whatever.
she was the same little girl that was with the kite that you saw originally. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
She sure
Okay.
is. Yeah. So getting
Yeah.
rid of that layer. I'm not sure what the layer is yet, but
Right. Right. That's what I was feeling. Like some people, I was like, I think that not always will we know what the layer was, but they'll just like perform the healing and talk to you, but he's going to help you work through it. So yeah, I felt, and I told you, I felt like I kind of got like a separate guide that wasn't Hummingbird, was was a guy that was leading me through. And so I think that maybe that's like similar to what you got as far as like the fairy godfather kind of guide.
yeah.
And so yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
Mine
that
was
sounds
tall and
intense.
skinny, but
That's what I
similar.
pictured when you said it. When you said it, I was like, but hers is tall and skinny. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
tall
what
and
I
skinny.
pictured when
He's
you said
got
it.
like the masquerade mask, like what you.
Like we were okay, yeah.
Yep.
So I was saying my guy was little, but there were people that were tall. Like the woman I saw, she was tall and skinny, but she didn't talk to me. And there was more than one of them, but only one spoke to me, and he just said, "We are the hummingbird people." And they were like very, very fey, like very, fun, fairy kind of, people. So yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Now I have to look this up and find out like who are the hummingbird people. So now maybe you got someone from the hummingbird people too.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. But thank you for sharing. This sounded very intense. Hopefully you're okay. You're able to come back to your body after that.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of grounding. If you have some chocolate or some or some grass you can go step on, like just do something. Water. I saw you were drinking water. That's grounding. Just do something grounding. Hold a grounding crystal. Yeah, yes, you say hold your grounding crystal. There you go. All right. Aho, thank you. Coach K, you want to share?
Sure. Mine was a little different. It was glitchy. It was, like somebody had a remote control switching the channel on the TV. Like,
Yes,
glitch.
I've had that before. Yeah, yeah.
It was just weird. I went in and several were there. So SP was there, Shiba Koi was there, the yellow butterfly was there, small form this time. Hummingbird was there. Of course, the serpent and jaguar were there, but eagle flew over, but never spoke, never said anything. I didn't get a vibe or like sometimes I can get words that aren't, their mouth is not moving, but
Right.
I didn't get anything. He just flew over. And I was getting messages. So like the one was turning me and would have a quick word and then glitch, and then another one would have another message. And so some of the stuff I like made a list. But Persephone was there. She came flying, flowers, flowy red hair this time. Wanted me to see her example. Just kept saying, see the example, like your life doesn't have to be the circumstances. You make it. You make what happens. And so most of this was all about doubt in myself and like learning to discover my dreams inside of what is going on around me. So a couple of things were that I'm stronger than I realize, because they are with me not just when I journey, but also in the waking. They said the waking.
Right.
You know, and then stop relying on my physical eyes so much and use all of my senses, all of me, to get through the different things that I need. Manifest is what I kept. Every channel was manifest, and then a message, manifest and then a message. At the end, I was told to, in the mornings, every day when I get up, to go to the mirror, speak out loud the words that are my desires for my life, and speak those out loud and put them out into the universe if I want to have them. And if they're pure, I will have them. So that was basically most of the messages that I got.
Yeah. So at first I was going to share, and I'll still share this because this is a tip for anybody. If you guys ever get a journey that's like that, where it's like a lot of different guides are showing up to show you messages and they're turning you in different directions and they're saying different things, or they're like real short, short time with all of them. A lot of times that's because it's like you've asked for something that many of your guides could help with, and we weren't specific, so we just left it open that any of them could come, and a lot of them want to come and help. And so yeah, it's up to you. You are able to, if it is too much for you, if you like a journey like that, it doesn't bother you, then you don't have to change anything. But if it feels like you want to like get a full message from one of them, you're able to stop and say, okay, thank you that all of you want to work with me. Can I just speak to one right now? And then I can come back and take a journey later, or you guys can come to me in dreams, talk to me at another time. But for now, can I just speak to one? I would like to get one message about one shell you would like me to break through. And that's a really good thing to do for, just for anything, especially since we're going into level 2, you might work with someone else whose guides are like that. They're like so excited to talk to you because like this person may have never worked with their spirit guides before. If you go, start doing this for others as a practitioner, now they're like waiting, they're like in a line, and they're like, oh good, finally somebody can listen to me. And there's like a bunch of them that want to talk to you at once. Same thing goes for us, especially when it comes to specific topics. If there's a lot that have been like, oh, we all have something to say about this and thanks, oh, we're so glad you asked, then a lot of them might show up. But you are in control in that way, where you can say, no, I'm not able to do all of this tonight, can we just have one? So that's one thing that I wanted to give advice for all of us to remember, because that's something that we all can practice and do. You don't have to have a journey like that. If it's so sporadic and all over the place, slow them down and remind them that you just need one really good message about one thing you're working on. Another thing though, just specifically for you, Coach K, that I got as you were talking, your guides are showing me, you got things that you're buying and things that you're doing and things that you're studying. You got this crystal, you got this, you got little things that it's like you're like you have a box, you know what I mean? Like my mesa is like probably too far for me to grab right now, right? But it's like I have my box, and this is my box of magic. And then I'm walking along, and then I'm like, ooh, this will go really nice in my box. And then I put that in there. And then I'm walking along, and I'm like, oh, I also need this. And then I'm listening to someone talking, and they're like, oh, I tend to always use this particular thing. Oh my gosh, I gotta go run out and go buy that thing. Then I gotta put that in my box. And that's how your guides are showing me right now. They're showing me that it's just like, ooh, 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 ooh. And that's your energy that was just for showing it to yourself. You're calling on so much and studying so much and gathering so many amulets and crystals and lineages and cultural references, and it's great to be a student of the universe. But slow down, do something in its entirety, get really good at that one thing, and move on to the next. You don't have to take all the things and throw them all in your box, because now you just got a really, really, really busy box. And it's hard to like dig through that to know what thing is good for what. When you just need to call on one thing for one answer, all of them are going to speak. because you're working with all of them at one time. And so that's what they told me in specific, was like, that's what is happening for you. And you still got good messages out of it. So that's great. But it was just kind of a sign to say, oh, you know, slow down a little bit and maybe try to like pick and choose a couple things to work on. We know that you were like great at multitasking, but like pick a couple of things to like really get good at for a while. Then like, okay, add in another thing. Now, like you said, your word that you used earlier was juggling, you know, like people, you know, juggling a lot. And so you're juggling a lot, and you are a Jacqueline of all trades. Like you've told us, like all these different cool things that you do with, you know, with animals and jewelry and shamanism and Reiki, and you know what I mean? You do a lot, and a mom, and you know, you're so many things, and that's amazing. But just slow it down just a little bit and get really, really some of these new things you're calling in, get really good at them. So that, and it doesn't mean that you have to learn all there is about it, because we know that you'll get in your head about that. You'll be like, but there's so much more I need to learn. But it's like, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying, you know, just get into get your box, you know, have that highlighter filled in pretty good for this box before moving on to another one.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. It does. And I like the tip at the beginning too, because while I was in journey, instantly came to me lucid dreaming. And so I was like, am I supposed to be controlling this? Am I supposed to be?
Yes.
And I was like, you're trying to control a journey? What is wrong with you?
There are some aspects of it that we can, and there's some aspects that we can't. Like there's lots of things, and I'll ask questions and they'll just be like, you talk too much. And I'm like, oh, all right. So I guess today's not the day. But
but
then there's, you know,
I liked having like being able to ask for just one or so.
Yes.
My head hurts. My head is hurting.
I saw you rubbing your temples. Yeah,
and I'm hungry. I feel like I'm like, you know.
That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. So that's why usually I would start write our intentions, and I would write the words for us. And I would say, my intention is to go into Sacred Garden to meet a guide who will help me. And I just didn't say it that way this time, but let's go back to saying it that way, just so we can kind of, you know, kind of lead that and kind of get that in our mind and get that to the guides that, hey, thank you. We appreciate that so many of you want to help, but we're going in here to meet a guide who will give me a shell breaking journey that's perfect for me right now. The same way that I would have worded it in class. We'll just start wording them like that in these circles, just to kind of put some boundaries around there, because we got to set our energetic boundaries, because otherwise, you know, it's like, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
But it does sound like you got some really good messages, but it is a little bit of a like, oh yeah, let's remember this tip. Let me share this tip.
It was a little shock at first, just seeing everybody like at one time, because usually there was just one, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the first time, like, I think that's the first time. Maybe I've had two come in at a time, but
right, but not like that
many. Yeah, at one time it was just
when you said it too, it right away was all like, and then you kept talking. And I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not. And then I was like, okay, I need to make sure I give them this tip. But then as you kept talking, like I said, your guide started saying, well, this is her. She kind of asked for this because she's kind of doing a lot. And so it's like, okay. So, but it doesn't, just because you are doing a lot doesn't mean that you can't still put up those barriers, those boundaries, and say, hey, give it to me in a way that I can accept it. This is not conducive to my process right now. Cool. All right. Aho, thank you very much for sharing. Yes, you're welcome. Coach Bree. Last but not least.
So I was also kind of like not sure if I was going to be able to go in. I was at the beginning, I was like struggling to
I wasn't sure if you were either.
Even
I thought about that for you.
If what? Sorry?
I said I wasn't sure either. I thought about that for you. Like you popped in my head at the beginning where I was like, oh, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to go in, but I just let it go.
Yeah. And so I was like, not even like walking into my forest to go towards the tree. Like I was just like staying in the same area, and then I was like dancing and whatever. And then finally I got to the tree, and I was getting like no pull towards anything. There was no like go upper world, middle, like nothing. There was nothing directing me. And then a door appeared beside the tree, and I went through the door, and there was 3 steps going down. And it was like going down into the darkness, and I went to the left, and it was like almost like a dungeon. Like it was really dark, kind of like a bluish black light, like almost like there was like maybe moonlight coming in or something like that. And I just kept getting this sense like I've hidden something from myself and I'm trying to find it, but part of me doesn't want me to find it. And so I'm like fighting against myself, kind of, right? Like there's two sides of me that are really fighting. And so I was like trying to go around the corner and see what more was there, and I couldn't go left. So then I thought, like, you know, your natural instinct would be like, well, maybe I'll try going right. But I realized that every time I go downstairs in my journeys, there's a wall like immediately up against the stairs. There's nothing to the right ever.
Right.
And it's like a big dirt wall and it's just blocked. And so I had the immediate like, well, maybe that's where it's hidden. And as soon as I thought that, that wall disappeared. And then there was more stairs going down into like pitch black. It was super dark to the right. And I had just started going down those stairs when we were called back. So it was like, yeah, I think like I've really done a really good job of burying something.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it is. And part of me is trying to break free of
Yes.
that and find it, right? And I'm
And
just
part of you is resisting it. That's that same, this is connected to that jaw thing, it feels like. And I really
yeah.
feel like, you're right. I really feel like you were at first, you were like, open this door. Ooh, learning all the new things. This was fun. Okay. All right. That was cool. Open the next door. Okay. Woo. And then it was like, but don't go down there. Remember I said that before with the Ace Ventura, you know, where he was like running back in the building and he was like saving all the animals. All right, I'll let this animal out. And then you look at the snakes and go, ugh. And then you like go to another one. All right, now let this animal out. Then he'd run past the snakes again and go, ugh. And then finally, after he was done with all the other cages and all the animals, he's just staring at these snakes like, gosh darn it, I have to do it. And then you see him running out with all the snakes and he passes out in the middle of the front yard. And so that's how it feels like for you. It feels like all the other doors are okay. And it's like, no, but I don't want that one. Okay, what about this one over here? Okay, but not that over there. And it's like, now it's like, okay, it is time, my child. This is time. And it's weird that you describe it because I know exactly what you're talking about. When I was first learning shamanism, remember, at first I didn't have my own garden. But then eventually I got mine. But when I didn't have my own garden, I will go into my madrina's garden and I could see everything to the left of me, but nothing on my right. It was literally like it was blocked off from my vision. It was like, I don't even know if there was any, like not even a dirt wall. Like it was just hidden from my vision. It was just some kind of way obscured. And when I would try to look that way, I couldn't visualize or do anything with that side. And then one day I was taking a journey and something spoke to me and was like, you're going to have to look over there. You're going to have to start working and making headway through this side that you won't look at. I don't recall right now what ended up happening with that, like what that led to, but I remember when you were talking, I remember exactly this kind of the similar thing where it was like I could see everything this side, but it was just obscured some kind of weird way where I couldn't on just to my right. So yeah, that's really interesting that you got the same thing. But I remember there was eventually a time when the guide spoke to me, was like, now it's time for you to build over this way. And it's time for you to go and face.
I can go straight from the stairs or I can go to the left. And this time, like I could see a bit of space to the left, but I couldn't go very far. And I was like, it was like I couldn't turn the corner, couldn't get around it. So I had to try something else, right? I had to like think about that wall, which I never really think about. And so, yeah, but I totally get it, like, what's that?
Right side, just so you know, right side is paternal and masculine. So if something has to be hidden and healed, and that could have been it, because I did take in my advanced, in one of my advanced classes that I got trained in, we had to heal one of our lineages. The whole class was only working on healing your generational lineage. And the one that showed up for me was my paternal side, my father's side. And I had actually never worked with my father's side up until that point. I didn't do any healing with my father at all until that point. And that might have been what actually ended up clearing it, because when it was like I don't know. It was like a bunch of my father's. Like I remember one of the healings I had to do. It was like a bunch of him standing in a row. And it's like he had to stand in front of me and say something about him that upset me or bothered me. And I had to heal that. Then he stepped out of the way. Then another one stepped forward. And then there was another one I had to heal with. And then he stepped out of the way. And it was like this long, like extensive healing that I had to do with my father. And so just so you know, right side is paternal. And and we did kind of talk about that before, right? That was like, it sounds to me like you're getting
some daddy
lots.
clear up. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I do big time. And actually what's even weirder is that today I was working on a blog post about an incident with him that caused me a lot of limiting beliefs and stuff. And that's
and
really interesting that because I have 5 in the works right now, and that's the one I picked to work on today.
Yeah.
So yeah, super interesting.
And I think that guide that showed up that has the little hints that's reminding you that you do need to work with your father, but then you have this male guide that you're connected to. I feel like he wants to help you and wants to work with you so that it's kind of maybe lessening the blow. So it's like you have a strong support. And if it's not him, ask for one, a guide that can come and be kind of a strong masculine support, that if this dad starts to get a little too heavy in journey, this father support can give you some kind of healing or give you some things you can do in the physical world, can tell you what you need to do that can help you to self-soothe and come down and come back into your body and cut the cords with that last healing you do until you're ready to go back and do another one. Because it might take more than one time and you don't want to keep carrying all that junk back out with you.
Talking about like, the line, that's why I was like, oh my gosh, because the line of things that I would have to heal with my father.
Right. Right. Exactly. And that's how it was with my father. And that's how it was with my father too. So I get that. And I do feel like we're like hitting on the right spot here, because both of us had that right side thing. And then when I just started thinking about it, I was like, well, that is paternal. And you and I have already said before the jaw and neck thing you were sharing with us, we already said that maybe there were some signs that the guys are like, hey, dad energy still needs to get healed. Just want you to know, throwing a little hint out there. You got to come back and do some dad work. You know what I mean? So I feel like that is the resistance. And that happens so often. Like I have clients and students that are highly, what's the one where they can see into the future? Gwen. So, they're highly psychic, but you know what I mean, where they can see and have visions into the future, and they won't be able to look around certain corners. And when I do a journey for them or even a card reading for them, I keep getting the same message, that it's them. They are blocking themselves from looking around that corner. They don't want to see what's on the other side of that.
That was very clear.
They don't want to do
me. That was making it hard to find.
Yeah.
That was very clear. Like it was like you buried something and you don't want to find it, even though you want to find it. Like it was just like, it was like that back and forth. That message just kind of kept repeating in different words of like that I hid it and I didn't want myself to find it. And so finding it's not going to be easy. Right.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, if you're able to,
so it wasn't a whole lot, but it was kind of a whole lot too. I don't know.
Well, I know you're busy. You got a lot going on, but if you're able to make it into a session, I would be happy. I would be happy to work on it with you and do, try to see what I can do on my end to help lessen some of it, to help open some of the pathways. If there's any soul retrieval or any cords that I can cut, anything on my end that I can help to like ease into that transition. It's also
I did have
really
that thought too while I was writing. I was like, this almost feels like another piece of me that's like
while you were talking, I was going to say, I know that you need another soul retrieval because I could feel that when you were talking. I know a couple of you all do, and I know that it was like easier to do one that was just for class because it was just for the class. It was going to be made easy. And any ones that you do in the future would now be to do more work and go deeper to be able to do that. But it is available to you guys. Level 2 comes with 40% discounts off of everything. So if you guys want to make any kind of bookings and stuff, then 40% discount. And if we have to work on a sliding scale or something because of your your budget, then let me know and we'll work on it. But I do want, because I don't want you guys going into, especially going beyond practitioner level with a bunch of work that you have to do. We don't spiritually bypass here, right? We do all of our work. We look deeper. We get the help that we need. We find the resources we need. We clear our mental stuff. We clear our emotional stuff. We're making sure that we're working on us first, so that our package is presentable enough to be able to handle all the work that we have to do for others. Because we're no good to others if we're not good for ourselves. It's not a good example, and it's not a balance with the universe. So we want to make sure
and
that's make sure that I'm available for you.
For me lately, there's been a lot of working with like the divine feminine, with coming to terms with that and with like learning about it, especially because I had very masculine energy always before. And now it's like I've gone so far to the other side, and I've been getting a lot of like messages that of like, just not that I need to find the balance, but just a lot of messages around there needing to be a balance between the masculine and feminine energies. And I know that that's a big chunk of healing, probably most of my healing that will happen around my father, and that I also know I avoid it like the plague.
I did too.
I don't talk to him in real life anymore, and I don't want to think about him, and I don't want to, all of it. So yeah.
I did not have a good feeling when I thought about anything having to do with masculine energy and beyond my father, just masculine energy in general. I wasn't great with it. And I knew that it was something I was going to have to face to be the healer that I wanted to be. I knew that when I was in training, I knew that that was something eventually I was going to have to sit down and figure out what are all of the qualms. I mean, even exes, even traumatic, like people who assaulted me. I had to do releasings and cord cuttings and healings and just back to back. And this is what I'm like talking about when we do our dark night of the soul, like people who, have been in there for a long time, they know. And then you come around and you do another one after you finished your last one and you went crazy and you went into the dark abyss and you faced stuff that you did not want to face that happened as a teenager. Now all of a sudden you're doing it at 24. Oh, great. Now everything that happened when I was 24 has to come up. You know what I mean? And you're just purging. And it's hard, but it has to be done, because I knew that if somebody came to me, I needed to be able to be balanced and fair, whether they were male or female, whether they were more masculine or feminine, whether they wanted to heal masculine or feminine with someone else. I needed to listen to someone who could talk about their father, and I wasn't going to automatically jump on their dad, and be like, oh yeah, he's a deadbeat and he's a piece of blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? I needed to be able to come completely neutral from a divine space and have that energy completely healed in me, so I could help them heal that in them. And it was a lot of work. It was, but it was rewarding and worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it's worth it, because that's what makes us the best.
But I also am getting that, like, this is another layer to the I'm hiding it from myself thing, is that I resist this so hard. I do. I avoid my emotions like the plague. And so anything deep, dark,
just
and
get
scary.
vulnerable already. That's why to shake you and be like, cry, God damn it.
Yes. It won't come out. I'm trying, but there's part of me that is
I know.
I'm over here falling at the drop of a freaking dime.
I know. Like, seriously, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I literally have to borrow water sign energy. I will literally sometimes meditate and be like, okay, Cancers and Pisces in my life, please lend me your energy. I need to get in touch with the emotion of something. Sometimes I'll get sick and it will be like, why am I sick? And then I'll be like I'll start digging and being like, okay, what's going on? Why are you getting sick? And all of a sudden, what was that? You almost cried. What did you almost cry about? Oh, crap. I'm avoiding emotion somewhere. Okay, let's sit down and find out, what emotion am I avoiding now? Because I thought I was doing really good. And then I'll be like, all right, Pisces and Cancer.
I'm getting
just
that, like,
Pisces and Cancer.
I wanted to freaking cry tonight.
I'm getting that resistance in my throat.
What'd you say, Gwen?
I said I was ready to cry tonight because of my journey.
But to me, that makes you guys warriors, like the emotional warriors of the zodiac. And we need all of that. We need to be able to do all the different things. But we got, look at tonight, it is Gwen in the middle, and then earth sign, earth sign, earth sign. Like everybody else around Gwen. And she's in the middle with all of this around her, just like,
look, they say water.
right.
I'm literally feeling this resistance like all in my throat and my jaw right now. Like it's like, hell no. And it is like all in here. Oh man.
Yeah. And that's me. That's
I'm
me
getting
when I have to throw up. Like I will resist it. Like I don't care. Stomach flus. I have food poisoning. There's a poison in your body, Siobhan. They're talking to me. There's a toxin. It's poisonous in your body. That's why your body needs to purge. Let it go. And I'm like, nope, not that way. Nope. Nope. I literally hate it so bad. And the guys are like, but it would be so releasing and healing for you. Just let it out. And that's how I figure. That's how I picture you being for crying, Coach B. You're like, nope. Nope.
100%. 100%. That is me. It's like, nope.
No, don't you
let that out.
But eventually you get to where, like I'm always telling you guys, eventually you get to where you cry at commercials. And last night I was sitting on the couch and my husband was at the computer, and I don't even know what happened on the TV. Not anything that was like really like that was supposed to bring me out, but all of a sudden these tears start to well up. And I'm like, where the heck is this coming from? And I'm like, I got this voice like, but we published our class and it's finally done and we worked so hard and we're doing so good. And don't we just feel really grateful? And I'm like, I guess we could cry about feeling grateful. Fine. And I'm looking at my husband like, please don't turn around right now because I'm just going to cry for a second. I'm just going to let it out. And I did. I just started to look around and I'm like, I'm really happy right now, guys.